My name is James Tree Gilmore. I'm a spiritual advisor for a intertribal, federally recognized group out of Pipestone, Minnesota. And I'm here to give you a short message about something that has developed recently. I'm over on the reservation in Arizona, where the Hopi are. The Hopi people are a very old group. They're the longest continually dwelling in the same place, same villages group in the United States for, I'd say, way over 1,000 years. They're still living in the same villages, and a lot of them are still following their traditional ways. Now, if you want more information on what I'm going to be talking about, which is called the Hopi Prophecy Rock, there's tons of information on YouTube and on the internet. A lot of it is from very credible sources, and I encourage you to research it. However, over 20 years ago, I was asked by two different Hopi elders, one of them the head Magua of a particular clan, to take the information that they have from these prophecy rocks that predict the future. And the thing about the Hopi is their predictions are so accurate. Looks like I'll move over into the light. Are so accurate that for over 1,000 years they've been predicting things, amazing things, even including the atomic bomb, when it was the most guarded secret in the United States. And they knew about it. But if you want more information on the rock itself and to see a picture of it, and then also more information about the prophecies past, present, and future of what's happening on our planet and with humankind, you can go to my website. And I'm new to YouTube, so I don't know how to type it in and all that stuff, but it's the website is www. all one word, worldtreeway.com. Worldtreeway.com, all one word. And there on the resources page, there are lots of videos that are recorded over Zoom. And there's two specifically, or maybe three, that are about the Hopi Prophecy Rock and where we are on the Hopi Prophecy timeline. Now, like I said, for over 20 years, I've been teaching this literally around the world about the 5 things which you can find there of how to live a good life during these crazy times and beyond, for the future, for our children. 5 simple things that the Hopi have lived by for over 1,000 years, maybe more. And they're in part of the teachings that are available. And most of the teachings and video are both in English. I speak English, and I have a translator who speaks German. So if you have German friends, you want to send this video to them, to get them hooked up with that website so they can go there and get this information. So we're at a really interesting place on this timeline. There's 2 lines carved in the stone, and at one place they intersect. On the top are all the advances of technology, all the amazing things, everything from planes and automobiles. Back before they even knew what a gun was, guns were predicted, the atomic bomb, World War I, World War II, and then we get to where we are now, and the big warning is, let's not go into World War III. And what really got my attention is something that has happened in the Hopi village of Hotevilla in Arizona just recently, and it's so significant. And it's literally a wake-up call for the entire world, for everybody. On this prophecy rock, there's an intersecting line between the 2 parallel lines. Oh, and the bottom is about how to live the good life of the Hopi, which is being close to nature and having a relationship with nature and the earth and the water. And all that's covered on my website. So anyhow, but we're at a place by most Hopi people, the prophecy keepers, who are pretty much all gone now. I just found out about a man that I won't say his name, but he was close to me. He actually made this ring for me. I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyhow, he just passed away recently, so he's my last contact with the Hopi elders. So anyhow, not to get boring here, but an event has just happened that really screams out that we are in that connection period that's called the purification, and we're heading to the end of the purification, which, according to the predictions carved over 1,000 years ago, we're about to enter a period of chaos because all technology is going to fail. And it may happen all at once, or it may start happening, and like what's happening at Hotevilla, it's taken years for this thing to happen and affect them, but it really pinpoints where we are in that Hopi prophecy timeline. So, if you want to trust somebody's prophecies, look at their past prophecies and see if they were accurate. And if they have a long history of being accurate, then you can trust that the future ones that they're seeing and predicting are going to happen. Well, to get it in a nutshell, like I said, you can go online, you can get tons of information. Just be careful of the source. Be careful of the source. There's lots of people, even Greg Braden talked about this Hopi prophecy timeline. But anyhow, so in a nutshell, here's what's happened. It says on the timeline, on both the timelines, they're going along, and all of a sudden there's this time of purification. The two timelines are joined, and that's a decision point for you personally and for us human beings corporately. It's time for us to make a decision. And will we embrace the Hopi ways, not their religion, but their way of life, of living simply and humbly and living in peace with each other? The word Hopi means people of peace, basically. So anyhow, here it is. So they were warned not to adapt modern technology in Hotevilla, or all the 13 or so Hopi villages. They weren't to embrace modern ways of modern plumbing, electricity, vehicles, all these things. They were warned that if they embraced that, they would be on the top line that goes off after the time of purification, goes off into total chaos. It's like a jagged line. Total chaos. Because if you think about it, if anybody pulls the plug around the world for electricity, we're in a mess. We're really in a mess. So they were warned, as we were warned, those of us that have heard those prophecies and seen them. And that's been one of my life missions, is to pass that information and also to live that way myself. But we won't get into that. So what has happened in the last recent time, I think it was probably around 20 years ago, that the U.S. government pretty much bullied the town of Hotevilla into accepting electricity and modern ways, modern ways of getting food. And of course, the food's no good. I mean, it's really bad quality stuff. But they're so far out there, there's only like one place to go, a little store. But anyhow, so they plumbed in water and they put in electricity into these ancient stone buildings. And everybody got used to it. And then all the young people started buying big pickup trucks and other vehicles. And road was put in up the mesa, which used to be just a trail. And now people are driving back and forth up there. Well, a mesa, for those of you that aren't familiar, is a very flat-topped mountain, very just flat. And that's where the Hopi have lived for well over 1,000 years. And their structures were made out of stone. And so they've lasted all this time, and they've added on to them. But as the electricity came in and things like that, especially the younger people started putting house trailers outside of town, outside of the village itself. Okay, so what has just been released in the Hopi National News, or whatever it's called, is that there's a giant crack that's forming underneath Hotevilla and I think 3 other villages. A giant crack in the stone, because it's just solid sandstone up on top. And what's causing this is modern technology. What's happened is that this giant water tank that they put up there, and then they pump all the groundwater up into it, which, of course, if you know anything about the Hopi, their sacred ceremonies, everything, a lot of it revolved around the sacred springs of water that they would go to and get the water and then haul it up to the village. So that all dried up, and that part of their culture is gone. Well, this water tank sprang some severe leaks, and the government didn't fix it. The Hopi didn't fix it. So for, I think, around 20 years, this water has been seeping down through the rocks. And underneath the layer of sandstone, the solid stone that they're on, it's gone into clay and sand. And it's eroded it away. And what's helped it erode away has been all the modern, like the vibration from the vehicles driving up and down every day. That vibration combined with the erosion has caused a huge, huge crack to form underneath Hotevilla, the first village to really embrace the modern stuff, even though they're still way behind what modern technology has for us. So that's the crux of this message, is that what's happening to Hotevilla is going to happen to the world. They're giving us a precursor. It's coming pretty quick. We're not far away from not having YouTube or Zoom. It just won't work. And I'm using Zoom as much as I can right now because I was given the information, don't depend on technology, but use it while you've got it. So I'm hoping this video will get out to a lot of people. I know the group from the World Tree Way are going to get this. There's about 180 people that have joined up with us there. And it's not that our way is a better way or anything, it's just our way is about being in harmony with nature. That's all that's about. So, again, if you want to learn more about these Hopi prophecies and the predictions, there's 2 or 3 videos available for free download. You have to download them on my website on the resource page. And then there's more information coming all the time. Now, if I can figure out how to post this on YouTube, I'll be a success. I'll get it out there, get the word out there. Okay, so that's it. I know it leaves a lot of questions. You can find a lot of the answers there at my website, www.worldtreeway.com, all one word. Thanks.